Today I am going to share with you some useful tips how to learn English. As I mentioned in my previous video that learning a language consists of four basic parts, that is listening, speaking, reading and writing. So here I will highlight the importance of listening. Now first of all I will start with an example. Recently when I visited Maharashtra, I met a kid who was 5 years old, and the way he was talking to me in Hindi, that really surprised me. And when I asked his parent how did he learn Hindi, then they told me that since his early childhood he has been watching the different cartoon movies on these different platforms. That way he was able to speak fluently. So here actually I am trying to point out the importance of listening. When you start listening as much as possible, things naturally become possible to you. So now what are the things you must watch and listen on these different platforms? So first of all, start watching the cartoon movies available on these different platforms like YouTube channel and Chrome, because it is easier for you to understand the cartoon movies and you can imitate them very easily. So start with cartoon movies and then later on start listening and watching the conversation which you can find on these different platforms, and listen the conversation between two person among a group of people. And sometime if it seems important to you, pause the video and try to imitate all those words and sentences spoken by the different characters, so that way you would be able to learn the speed, accent, intonation, pronunciation, rhythm of the language. That will naturally become an integral part of your learning. So start doing all these activities, and other than this, start watching the motivational video by the native speakers like Jim Rohn, Les Brown. Start watching and listening them at least for 15 to 20 minutes early in the morning, 15 to 20 minutes late in the evening. The way doctor gives you the medicine for 2 times, 3 times a day, same method you implement here. Start listening early in the morning, then late in the evening. That way things will become easier for you. Now other than this, you can start watching the podcast available on the different platforms. Podcast like BBC Learning English, podcast like Everyday with English E2. These podcasts will help you a lot in learning the language. Now other than this, I would suggest you to use the headphone while watching and listening these contents on the different platforms, because when you start using the headphone, you are able to focus your attention toward the contents you are watching and listening. So that way definitely it will bring a significant change in your learning. And one more thing I would like to point out, that whenever you listen these contents, these videos, first listen them without subtitles and then again listen it with subtitles. So that way you will be able to learn so many things from these contents. And the next thing I would like to point out, that always try to convince yourself that you can also speak like them, you can also speak like me. It all depends on your persistence and perseverance. So always convince yourself that you can also do like me, you can also speak like them. So you have to always convince them, because sometime what I have figured out, when we start learning a language, sometime we feel frustrated and depressed when we are not able to perform well. But accept it as a part and parcel of learning. There is nothing unusual in it. In the process of learning language, sometimes we do feel upset and dejected when we are not able to perform well. But as I said before, this is part and parcel of learning. And in the end, I hope you understood whatever I said. Now like, share and subscribe my channel Sanjay Singh Wizard of English, and go in the playlist. There you will find day-to-day English, and press the bell icon so that you can get my next video in next 24 hours. So I wish you all the best and hope that very soon you will be able to speak English fluently without hesitation. Thank you. I wish you all the best.